Paying for everyone's coffee if you're the last to arrive. This is a rule that my mom's work has, which I recently just found out about. She works as a nail tech in a salon with about 9 other techs plus one receptionist. If you're the last to arrive at the shop, even if you're not actually late, you have to buy everyone's coffee for the morning. That's usually $50 plus you have to spend. When I spoke to my mom, she said she spent $65 buying everyone's coffee that morning, and that's how I found out about this rule. While she says she can't argue with this since 9/10 someone's buying her coffee, I don't think this should be in place at all. Does anyone else see something wrong with this? Edit. Some clarification. This is a mandatory rule. In the past, there's been one receptionist that quit over this, and apparently, one of the owners will sometimes refuse to buy coffee if they broke this rule. My mom is not complaining, but just mentioned this in passing last time we spoke about how expensive coffee is these days. Though she seems fine with this situation, I'm more worried about people with kids or those who don't drink coffee that is forced to follow this rule. They do have a Keurig in the shop, but more than half of them refuse to drink anything other than frappuccinos. If you accept the coffee, you're implicitly accepting to buy it if you're the last one. If you refuse the coffee, you're fine to refuse to participate altogether. Depends if the policy is instigated by the owner or by the workers. One is a nasty way of getting everyone into work early. The other is just for funsies. This rule is unjust and amounts to financial exploitation. There are several issues with it. 1. It punishes employees arbitrarily and excessively. Being the last to arrive says nothing about actual tardiness or impairment of work. It's an absurd criterion to impose a $5,065 cost on someone for no legitimate reason. 2. It creates resentment and bad feeling. Having to spend that much on coworkers likely breeds annoyance, irritation, and a sense of unfairness even among those benefiting at no cost to themselves. Internal morale suffers. 3. It takes advantage of the goodwill of team players. The fact that most accept this rule does not make it right or equitable. A reasonable person seeing the situation from the outside would consider it preposterous. Only a desire to please the group and fit in would lead someone to accept such a policy. 4. It fails to actually build goodwill or contribute to a positive culture. Exploiting people financially does not bond them together or make them feel valued. Real camaraderie comes from fair, principled and collectively minded policies, not arbitrary extractions from individuals. 5. It sets a poor standard as an example. What kind of lesson does this rule teach? That individuals can be arbitrarily penalized for nonsense reasons to benefit the whole. That financial gain should trump justice whenever possible. Neither of these are good lessons to institutionalize. Policies should facilitate fairness, trust and goodwill, not take advantage of them to unjustly extract resources from people. This rule needs to go. Your mother and her coworkers deserve far better. I don't want to participate in the coffee rotation anymore. So what? You're going to drink for free? Quote, no, I don't want to participate in it at all. I'll bring my own. It's a rule and requirement. Oh, I wasn't aware and I understand now. Thank you. Would you like my 2-week notice in writing? Quote. If it's a rule, that's not legal, even if it's not a written rule. If the owner is involved in enforcing or implementing the informal policy, he could get in trouble. However, it sounds like a social norm between the nail techs, which sucks. But it's legally okay. If it's ethical, the question would be how evenly this works out for everyone. I feel like these policies end up benefiting 1 or 2 people, while being subsidized by one person and breaking even for most people. My concern is that person who is going to be most likely to be penalized is the person who maybe has a young kid, or has health issues or just chaos going on in their lives. I.e., the person who is least likely to be able to afford routinely buying everyone coffee. They may also need the job the most and be the least likely to speak out against the policy. The other issue with these policies is it penalizes people who decide to give up coffee or pack their own to save money. I would encourage your mom to speak out against the policy. I would simply go, "No thanks. I already have coffee in my Keep cup that I made at home. I need my money to pay bills, mortgage and necessities. I'm here on time and I shouldn't be penalized for arriving last just because you all might benefit from an extortion racket. This should not cost you money." A more reasonable incentive would be the last one in goes and gets the coffee on the business dime. In a small office I worked, the last one to turn in their time card had to clean the kitchen every day for the next week. The kitchen was very small and easy to clean, otherwise someone would be taking too much time from their real job. What are they paying hourly? 56 could be half a day's work. Your mom's got a psycho boss. I supply drinks and snacks for my employees so they can focus on their job. I'd report it to a labor place immediately. She's basically getting employees to pay for her coffee. I guarantee she will never be last. Multiple gym business manager. Pro tip: don't participate in coffee time or donuts if people take turns paying. I bring a personal thermos, then no expectation for me to pony up. Make a new rule that whoever buys decides where to get the coffee from. Then always go to the coffee shop no one likes. People won't want you to buy anymore. Why not spend $65 buying a coffee maker and pound of beans? Let me guess. Manager never pays since he's the key man and must be first to open. If she wants to break this rule, at least for herself, in a socially acceptable way, the forced step is to stop accepting coffees from the others. If she does do that, she can say, "I always buy my own coffee and I'm just not participating anymore." If she does not do that, then of course she will be expected to pay when OT is her turn. Sounds like everyone is getting lukewarm Folgers cut with pencil shavings filtered through a sock. On my day, I don't think it's a problem if participation is voluntary. Don't have to take coffee or buy coffee if you don't want to. If a person takes a coffee, it's fair they buy when it's their turn to buy. This would just be like a $65 per day pay cut for me. Times this might be acceptable. If you're the boss, will always be late, and this is how you buy everyone's loyalty and acceptance that you'll be late. And if ever someone is later than you make sure they're okay. Buy it anyways for everyone claiming you didn't expect anyone to be later, and they'll get it another time, but their time never comes. I can't think of any others where forced purchases are acceptable. I'd leave 2 JFC. That's a terrible expectation to set. Especially the owner making the staff buy them coffee. Personally, I'd just get there outlandishly early with a stool or something to make a point. Lol. I feel like if you got fired for not buying everyone coffee, that would be something to get in writing, because pretty sure employers aren't allowed to require that. WTF? I don't even buy myself coffee, so why would I spend $50 plus doing it for others? That's stupid, and you should just say no. That's basically your whole pay for the day. No?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.